G'day everyone, welcome back. This time, if it's not sort of quite obvious, we're going to get back onto the BMW. So I'm pretty excited to make this episode. Like I said at the end of the last episode on this engine, if you didn't see it, this one is not going to come out without this engine running. So one caveat on that, this will either be running or we'll have some catastrophic major mechanical issue that stops it running for some reason, like a completely dead injector pump or something like that. But if you want to see how this all comes together, stick around. It's going to be a good episode. Before we get too stuck into it, pause the video, go down, subscribe, and notifications, because just getting this engine running isn't the end of the story. We've still got to get it, still got to strip the stern drive that goes with it, so that's got to get all stripped and inspected. And of course, eventually, this thing's going to end up in Chiara. So, you know, there's still a long way to go with this. There's also lots of work to do on the boat as well. I know I haven't put any videos up physically working on the boat lately. That's purely because I haven't been there. Life's, you know, is what it is. Things are busy, and at the moment it's sort of easier for me to be in the shed working on this than it is to be out on the boat. I do have some time sort of set aside to get back out to the boat and start really trying to put some effort in out there, but for now we're going to get this thing up and running. I would like to have this thing ready, this and the stern drive ready, for when the boat comes out of the water early next year. I'm going to book more time up on the slip, and we're going to get it converted to diesel. So yeah, that's why we're having a bit of a push to get this thing ready. Alright, some of the big milestones I suppose will be, we're going to get the injector pump on. I gave it a little bit of a clean up off camera. I didn't strip it or anything, I just blocked off all the ports and just gave it a bit of a diesel bath and cleaned everything off, put some fresh diesel in it, and just sort of spun it over by hand just to make sure everything's all nice and lubricated. But we're going to get that on, and then that will allow us to put the front cover back on. Now once that timing case is back on, that's a pretty big step for me. The other big things that we have to do, this manifold's not too bad. Really, it can probably get bolted on now. It's only there by a couple, but I'm going to paint it before I put it on. And we're going to have to get the other heat exchangers sorted. So we've got the big one at the front, which I already pulled some inspection plates off, and it's pretty bad. It's got to get completely stripped, which we sort of knew anyway. There's the heat exchanger for the intake charge, so that again is actually pretty bad. It's going to have to get stripped and fully cleaned as well. Not a big deal. We have to get the turbo back together and hung. We have to try and fix the starter motor. That's oily. Basically, starter motor at the moment is a substantial block of rust. I don't know if I'm going to be able to resurrect it. I do have a lead on a spare, so if we go down that path, you know, we're not shot in the foot with the starter yet, but we do have to see what we're working with. So yeah, all right, let's crack on with some work. I've got to put a Welsh plug in the front, put the injector pump on, and then the timing case. Timing cover, the come on, fuel pump drive gears on, injection pump drive gear, no, obviously torqued up. That goes up to 60 foot-pound. That's a tight little sucker. Injection pump's on, bolted on. Timing marks are lined up where they were, so I marked that before I pulled it apart. If anything, I've actually ever so slightly advanced it, but don't worry about that. That's fine. Yeah, so next step is I'd like to start getting these manifolds, I think. So that one there can come off, and I'll probably take it off and paint it so I can get it all up on the insides and everything, and then that one can go on and get torqued on and it could stay there then. The only thing I need to be careful of is I need to look at the manual, because that's an oil gallery. No, that's a block drain. That's a water drain, which I've got. I mean, I've got everything, but I just need to refresh myself with the manual and find out if there's anything under the cylinder head that needs to go on before, sorry, under the manifold that needs to go on before it can. But yeah, we'll pull that off. I'm going to clean it, paint it, and then that really is the next step with that manifold on. And then we're going to strip all the heat exchangers, and then we can start sorting them out. Once the heat exchangers are done, then it really does start to come together and look like a motor. I mean, an engine. Sorry, an engine. We're at that point where it's going to look like it's going to come together pretty quick, but we've still got a lot of work to do before we turn the key. So yeah, at least we've got a decent hit list of stuff to do, so let's get after it. Alrighty, making some progress. So intake and exhaust manifold completely on. So gasketed, done, lock washers, never sees. Our puppy's on there for good. What I want to do now is try and get this side of the engine mostly buttoned up. And in order to do that, we're going to sort the turbo. So it spins really nice and free. I don't really have any issues with the bearing. There's no play in it as such. Find out once we fire it up, I guess. So I'll give the whole thing a really just quick wire brush, just clean it up, and I may even just give the top just a wire brush and a quick hit with some spray as well. Then we're going to get the turbo bolted up to this side, because that pretty much finishes more or less everything over here. And then we're going to start, like I said, on the heat exchanger assembly, get that stripped and cleaned. And Dad was kind enough to offer, I say offer, but you know, to try and rebuild the starter motor. And it's in a pretty sad way. I've got another back cover, but it'll be interesting to see what it is when it's pulled apart. So I'll probably get that just done on time lapse. We'll just strip it and pull it apart and see the highlights. But I think it's going to be, I don't know. Dad's pretty clever. We'll see how it turns out. So the first good heat exchanger we're going to have a look at is the intake. So the intake air charge comes in this passageway here. This is full of boosted air. These tubes that you can see down in there, they run raw water through them. Now I've pressure tested the tubes. Essentially I capped that and put the hose in that end and clamped it on, and there was no leaks whatsoever. So I held it with pressure for a while and it didn't leak. So that's a win. But as you can see, maybe, there is a lot of gunk down in there. So these tubes have got to come out. There's a gasket at each end by the look of it. So we're going to get them out and give them a good clean through. The tubes themselves we're going to clean, and then obviously the housing needs a good clean too. So strip it apart and just pop that end cover off. I don't think old mate was running a C strainer, like, at all. I mean, it's not. I expected to be a bit more blocked than that. There's only, you know, maybe a couple down here that are, but still, I don't think he was running a C strainer. So let's get the other end off, and then we can take this outside and actually blow right through it with water. And I've also got some filler, like some lengths of welding rod there that I can slide down in it to clear any blockages, because they all need to be completely clean and clear. Yep, pretty much the same thing this end. So might be a few more blocked than I thought, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll start running a rod down. Oh, that was. I'll start running a rod down through them and see which ones are blocked and which ones aren't. But I've got to try and figure out how to get it out now, because that looks like one piece. I wonder. Oh yeah, that must slide off. There's a ring there. Yeah, I think this section here slides out. Probably another O-ring behind it, and then the cores can come out that way. Okay, we're all out. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Just a few taps with the old dead blow hammer. Didn't hurt anything, just knocked it on out and it actually come out. I was really worried that it was going to be grown inside this housing here, but yeah, it's not. Now it's out, we can give this thing a really good clean, put it all back together and put it on the engine. Okay, so we got the housing all cleaned up. I got the cores cleaned up too, but yeah, I just wanted to bolt this on. I think I'm going to actually put this on now, properly bolt it down, gaskets and everything. I think it's going to make it a lot easier for me to come in and actually assemble the cores and everything, because it's a bit of a pain in the butt with it rolling around on the bench. So we'll do that. I've got to seal that plate first. That's the one we took off for inspection, so I've got to seal that and put it back down. And then we're going to put that bad boy on and figure out what we're going to do next. One step at a time. Alrighty, well, there's no putting it off any longer. It's time to tackle the big girl. So this is the big main heat exchanger. This is coolant, so like engine circulating coolant, closed system coolant, and raw water. As you can tell, I've popped the end tanks off. I just sort of wanted to try and have a look at it basically, and yeah, like I said, I don't think old mate was running a if he was running a C strainer, it wasn't very good. Anyway, we need to get these out because I want to have a look inside, see the condition, but also there's a very specific sort of way that these need to sit in there. There's fins on the inside, and there's a very specific measurement of how they need to sit. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but you know, we're here, let's check it. I've got to pull a filter off, and there's a secondary cooler, or a secondary portion of cooler for the oil as well. So yeah, nothing to do but do it. So I'll just show you up here. I sort of did a little bit more off camera. This is the coolant, what would you call it? Just a coolant rail. Takes all the coolant, come up through the heads and then down and feeds into the back of the, or whether it feeds in or out, I'm not sure, to be honest. But comes out of the back of that exhaust manifold section. I've got a oil return or oil pressure. I'm not really sure what way the oiling system works on these, but this goes up and into these little banjos in the back, and looks like it feeds pressure to the rocker pedestal, so that could be an out. That's about it really. So yeah, like I said, really this is the next major item. Once we get this stripped, cleaned and back together, then it's just a lot of little stuff, a lot of hoses and things. These, like all these pipes, have got to sit, you know, nicely where they've got to sit. Harmonic balance has been cleaned up, and like I said, Dad's working on the starter motor for me. Put this heat exchanger section back in, and we are getting there. Slowly. Still a lot of work to go, but anyway, slowly. And then once I'm not going to do it before I fire it up, but once we fire it up and we know it runs, and you know I can get a little bit of run time on it, we'll shut it down, clean it, and paint it all up. Because I'm not saying that things are going to have to come off again, but you know, same reason you never fill an engine with glycol for the very first time you fire it, because chances are something's going to have to move. All right, keep going. I'll put you on time lapse, and we'll get that bad boy stripped. That was a bit of a fail. I didn't break it, but I looked in the manual about how to get these heat exchanger cores out, and there's a tool that goes onto there and goes in and basically presses off the body and pulls the core. So I thought I'd just plate the bolts to it and use the slide hammer. They're in there good. Yeah, I think I'm just going to basically wash this out as best as I could with the hose, and then I'm going to put the end plates back on. If I go much further, I'm worried that I'm going to bust these tabs here, and if I do, like I'm smacking this pretty hard with a slide hammer, and if I bust these tabs and it's going to crack this outer, this whole core becomes useless. So I'm going to run water through everything, make sure it seems to flow okay, and if it does, we're going to put the end caps back on, because like I said, I just really hesitant to go too much harder with them. It's only copper, so yeah, we'll just wash it out the best as we can as is and put it on. Got all the doohickeys off. Might need a tap. Starter motors aren't supposed to
have holes in them.
Well, they're not supposed to have holes in them, but I don't know if that's sand or...
It's full of goodness.
How good are you again?
I think I've been...
It's leaking horsepower.
I think I've been set up to go under a bus.
No.
My dad's really clever. Yeah.
He is clever. That's fine in there.
Here we go.
That's a hell of a lot better than what I was expecting.
Yeah, no, that's almost like new.
Well, BMW. What do you mean? Those brushes are fine. They've got plenty of contact on it.
Yeah, all of them seized. Yeah.
They've come all the way off there, sure.
Oh, it will. It's still joined onto the other two. I'll have to pull the brushes out of that.
The armature doesn't look as bad as what I was expecting. I thought it would just be one giant ball of... It's two or three giant balls of corrosion.
It is. It's a giant ball of copper corrosion.
He'll be right. I got faith. So it took some belting. It's still seized. I'm not sure if you're surprised. Oh
no, it's good to go.
It's not seized. She'll run. Oh, it's just about ready to fire.
Here, let me put these rusty bits back on.
Yeah. So that's what came out of it when we pulled the windings off the outside. But it has moved. It's come back there, and
yeah, it's almost.
It's basically ready to go.
Got to get that fork out. It might come out.
Oh, that could be fun. There you go. We're making progress with the starter, but I don't know if it's forward progress or not.
We haven't quite got out the heads yet.
Yeah,
I'll get it.
So here we go. I'll bring you back if I find anything else interesting. You take it?
Normally can.
This is not a normal situation.
No, it's going to come out with it, which is fun.
Alright, well, I don't really believe what I'm about to say. This may work. Not well, but after a lot of time on the buff, everything's cleaned up. We freed up the Bendix, so the sprag in that actually works. You spin it one way, you spin it the other way, it locks up immediately. Went through, buffed all the armature, cleaned up all the contacts, cleaned the inside of the fields, sort of cleaned everything up. Now, what I did, I don't know where it is. Hang on, I'll get it, wait up. There it is. Ugh. Okay. Unfortunately, when I was pulling it all apart, I busted the pull tab for the throw out. Not a big deal. I have actually managed to source a whole nother solenoid. It's $90, so not the end of the world. Now, I will say straight up that this is not going to be on the boat when the boat goes in the water. Even if it works, I really can't trust it. I mean, there's a lot of wear on the end of these teeth. They've been pretty heavily munched. I mean, you know, everything is very heavily pitted. And actually, surprisingly, there's quite a lot of wear on the brushes as well. So, you know, if it works, that's great. This is going to be a good exercise just, you know, to see if we can. And it'll also be good on the, just to run it on the engine stand. And if it does work with the new solenoid and everything, that's fantastic. It starts the motor, that's great. This will make a perfect spare just to have in the boat. You know, if you really need it, I'll chuck it on and run it. But I will get there will be a brand new one coming. You can still get them. They're not cheap. You're talking just shy of 600 Australian dollars. But I will get one, and it will get fitted before it goes in the water. So, but right now I'm going to put all this back together, and we won't have the Bendix throw out. I'll just cut that off, but we will actually, I want to see if the contacts in the solenoid are any good. If they're not, well then I'll just jump it straight to the power. But yeah, let's put it together and see if it actually works. All right, from the Titanic, back from the Titanic. So I just got to leave the solenoid off, and we're just gonna see if it even rotates. I won't come around that side so I can see the thing. You can do it with the sparkies.
But that little Titanic is the jewel of the ocean, wasn't it? Or the heart of the ocean.
Not anymore. You're all hooked up here.
What's how that rotates?
It's alive. Doesn't even tend to carry on too much.
No, it's pretty good actually.
A little bit of bearing wear there.
That's alright. All that model did that.
Yeah, okay.
All the rusty ones. No, that actually sounded quite good.
It did. Alright, well, I'm still kind of surprised. We're going to get a solenoid for it, which should be here tomorrow, and put it on and have a working starter again. So it's starting to look a bit more like an engine. It's all just there for mock-up at the moment, because there's pipes and hoses that have got to go on every which way. So I just put the heat exchanger tank and everything back on so I can figure it out. The heat exchanger got to come back off anyway, because I've got to put the coolers back in the intake cooler, into the charge cooler. But yeah, starting to look like an engine. Still a crap load more work to go, but yeah, got a couple of the valve covers cleaned up and painted and back on. The rest are sitting over on the bench ready to get scrubbed. Yeah, it's all going to come off, get sealed up properly, and then put back on. Brand new solenoid on the Titanic starter. And I'll come around this side so you can see the gears.
I'll just test the motor first. Run the motor. Here's the goer.
Works now. Should.
Click, click. You ready?
Yep.
Every time.
That seems to work.
Bearers are fine. Alright. Clutch start the Titanic.
Come off the Titanic.
Come off.
Righto. Actually, while I got the camera going, I'll give you an update on the engine. So, sort of looks like a fair bit. Well, there is a fair bit, I suppose. Heat exchangers on properly, as well as a few other little accessory bits. Most of the water routing is done, so that's the final dump that goes out to the exhaust. New oil filters on and primed. I did pre-fill that all the way up to the top with oil. What do we got? Thermostats are back in, raw water pumps bolted on. I've just got to put the impeller in it. Still only got a couple of the valve covers on. I've still got to clean them. These are the lines for the raw water side. So raw water comes in here, out of there, into one side of the intake manifold. So the intake air charge cooler, down, doubles back, comes out of here, round, and then into the actual engine cooling heat exchanger. So it passes through about that much of it is glycol, like engine cooling, and then there's a portion on the end here which is actually oil. It's an oil cooler. So that's all raw water, and then basically raw water comes and finishes its life cycle out of the back. Yeah, the glycol engine coolant is, like I said, all up in here. It flows through the exhaust manifold, the turbo, up the back here. I'm not sure quite the direction of travel, but along this coolant rail, through the heads, actually it would come up the heads, so it would come up to here and then probably back through the exhaust. Either way, and then obviously through the rest of the engine. So I am dangerously close to getting this thing off the stand. I just want to put the harmonic balancer back on the front, which is ready to go. So I'll put the harmonic balancer on the front. I just want to finish buttoning up the raw water pump, put some sump plugs in, I've got to clean the flywheel up too. It's a bit unhappy. And then it's pretty much right to sling. I've still got to finish off the fueling system, but we're going to do that once it's on the stand. Yeah, very close. Now off the stand. That's about all I could say. Got a little bit more done. I just sort of really want to get off the stand and try and make this run cradle for it. So everything on the front's all done. Drain plugs are in. I'm having issues at the moment trying to get the injector fuel return rail sorted. The one that was on it was all munched and broken. The one I got for spares was had a couple of holes in it and it was all rusted, and also it was blocked. So yeah, Dad's trying to track down something decent for that now. What I'm going to do is put the bell housing on, starter motor and flywheel, and then we're going to get a pallet. I've got a big pallet outside. We're going to get that and get it so that the thing can sit down, and essentially we can have somewhere where we can try and fire it up. So we're getting close. I know I said that last time, but we are. Alright, multiple cameras. Where's my 17? Injector lines are loose. We've got a bit of an e-stop set up on our fuel shut-off solenoid. Hey?
Got your 17?
I got the 17. Make sure they are 17.
I've got the extra e-stop.
You got the app, so we've got a board just in case it runs away. There's no water in it, there's no ancillaries on it. It is full of oil. It will take some cranking. Righto.
See if this new starter can do what it's supposed to. Righto. Ignition on. Here we go. You have to get some fuel.
Oh yeah, I can rack it. Yep.
We've got fumage out the back. Is
already?
Steam.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I've got no fuel up here yet.
Okay, so starter motor's not great.
It was.
That's pulling a real bad earth for the brushes.
Oh, so we need to get
Those
that up
bolts.
on the bolt.
Where's that tin one?
No, you got smoke. You got smoke.
Yeah. Well, look at that. That's loose. Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Jesus, the brushes earth on that one little.
Oh, there's one on the other side too. You still got your plank of wood ready?
Yeah, all right. Yeah. We get some fuel into this. We've got
Yeah.
to prime it while you're going. Some lift pump prime. You got a couple.
What's going on?
What? Spiders coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that one?
There's that one there too.
Alright, so we might have
we're
a couple
pretty close.
Might have a couple of fires.
Just be ready with your bit of wood. Then your e-stop.
I'll do the e-stop first.
Alright.
Alright.
Full throttle.
Are we on the start down the bottom? Because we've got no glows on this, don't forget.
Oh, that's start now, yeah.
Right. No glow plugs, so. Oh,
That was me, I got scared.
yeah, I know. I saw the white and the black.
Alright, let me just make sure that camera's still rolling. I got scared. Yeah, that's still going.
I know, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yep. Right, we can
Good.
shut down. Sounds rattly.
Let's get some oil pressure into it. Just don't rev it.
Well,
Just
should I check the oil?
check it if you want.
Oh god, there's something going on with that dipstick.
Yeah.
I think I might have munged it myself actually.
It's pretty funky. We might want to make one out of wire rope.
I'll just check it.
Get that back in there.
That started bloody brilliant.
Yeah. Sounded pretty good to me. I don't know about rattle.
Oh, I heard a couple, but yeah, let it build some oil pressure.
Good luck with that now.
Wonkiest dipstick in history.
Oh my god.
I don't. It's got oil. I know it does. You put multiple in there.
You ready?
Yep. like it. I like it. That's going.
Sweet.
It's alive. Oh God, that's fantastic. You got no idea how much this thing's been fighting me these last 2 days. Oh, that's, oh, okay, never mind. I found where the thing was hit. Well, we definitely got oil pressure.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, it's pouring out of the, yeah, we got oil pressure. This thing, these last couple of days, has been fighting me so hard. Just every little turn. That is so much of a relief, it's not funny. Yeah, let me compose myself and we'll do a proper outro. Oh. All right, well, apart from it leaking everywhere, that's just diesel. The oil leak was up here. That's actually the breather for the oil cooler system up here, so that's fine. Tighten that up, doesn't leak. I couldn't have asked for a better first start, to be honest. Now obviously we're not running any of the ancillaries at the moment, so the water pump, there is actually no water in it, so you know, it's why we ran it for probably not even a minute, 30 seconds. So enough to know that we build oil pressure, it's not knocking, and the injection pump is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I mean, like I said, I can't ask for anything better. Yeah, it's been a pretty long series, this one, I guess. And I mean, it's come together. I know I sort of say that a bit, but this has taken a lot of effort, a lot of money. So I just want to say a massive thank you to anybody who's watched, or any of the videos really. It all helps, especially now it's been, we're monetized now. Any dollar that comes through for ad revenue goes into things like this. I mean, I obviously put a lot of my own money in it too, but it all helps. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to clean up a little bit here, disconnect the battery, and I'm going to go home and have several beers because I need it. Anyway, one final thing. I have now put on memberships for the channel. If you were so inclined, you want to help support even more, then memberships are now available. They give you special offers and different things you can do when commenting during live streams. It will also come with a discount to the merchandise store, which isn't up yet, but we are working on it. So you'll get a discount for that, and it'll also give you access to another section of the page, which I will post a lot more frequently on, you know, shorts and also shorter videos on bits and pieces, updates that don't come through on the regular weekend ones. Will be, you know, in that members section. So if you are interested, go to the home page, and then up the top there's a little button that says join. Go into there, have a look. Feel free. I would greatly appreciate it, but you know, by no means is it compulsory. If you don't want to, don't do it. All right, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to head home. So thank you all very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, especially if you stayed to the end. Obviously you wouldn't hear this if you didn't. And yeah, a little bit more work to do on this. I'll probably do one more video with updates of it being finished, running properly, and then we're going to get back onto the boat. So all right, till then, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one.